Students, now we will see the another type of tissue that are known as muscular tissues. Such type of tissues are present in the muscles of a body, and they are very elongated and very large, and they, on the basis of their structure and on the basis of their function, they are of three types: striated, unstriated or smooth muscles, or we can say cardiac muscles. Three types of muscular tissues are present. Let us see them one by one. First are the striated muscles. This is the structure of striated muscle. These are elongated and also cylindrical in shape, just like a cylinder, and they are unbranched. They are not branch structures, and also they are not tapering. Tapering means joining ends. They are not joined at their ends. They mostly occur in the biceps and triceps. Where are biceps and triceps are present? In our arms. So these are present in the biceps and triceps muscles, our face and neck muscles, and the muscles that are present, these muscles that are present in our tongue, pharynx, diaphragm and esophagus, those muscles are known as visceral striated muscles. And also these striated muscles are known as stripped skeletal or voluntary muscles. These are known as stripped muscles because in these muscles alternate dark and light bands are present as a strip. First dark band, dark strip, then light strip. So they are known as stripped muscles. Skeletal because these are attached to the bones for the support. So they are known as skeletal muscles. And voluntary muscles because they can be controlled by us. If we want to move them, then we can move. If we don't want, then we will not move. And such muscles are known as voluntary muscles that are controlled by a will. Now next is unstriated and smooth muscles. These muscles are spindle shaped. Just like spindle fibers are there, these are spindle shaped and very loose. You are seeing that there is so much gap between these two cells of the tissue, so they make a loose connective tissues. They generally occurs in the walls of the visceral organs. Visceral organs are tongue, pharynx, esophagus, and also in the walls of stomach, intestine, iris of the eye, blood vessels, and the alimentary canal through which our food passes down. And they are known as involuntary muscles. Why they are known as involuntary muscles? Because these on these muscles we can't control them. Just like when you eat food, after you eating the food, you can't control the food where it has to go. So these muscles control the movement of the food on the alimentary canal and many other. So they are known as involuntary muscles because we cannot control such type of muscles. Next, the third type of cardiac muscles. Cardiac muscles are the combination of striated and unstriated muscles because they are both branched as well as unbranched. You can see in the diagram they are branched also and unbranched also. These cardiac word is always related to our heart. So such muscles are present in the walls of the heart, and these muscles never get tired. They beat continuously, rhythmically, and also contract and relax rapidly, and they beat throughout the life. They never stop and they never get tired. So students, these are the type of muscular tissues. Now let us come to the next type of tissues. Connective tissues. From the name we can get that connective, that means that something that connects anything. So the tissues that are under these connective tissues are mainly of 5 types. Here I have written the 3 types. Next I will write the next 2 types. First one, we will see the areolar or the loose connective tissues. From the name we can get, these are the loose connective tissues. They are very loose, and in the cells of these tissues they have 2 types of fibers: white collagen fibers and yellow elastin fibers, or we can say elastin. These tissues are generally used to join skin to the muscles. Skin is joined to the muscles with the help of these tissues, and they are also helped to fill the spaces between the organs. The space between the 2 organs is filled by such type of tissues. They are generally found in blood vessels and nerves. Around the blood vessels and around the nerve cells, these types of tissues are present. Next we will see the dense regular connective tissues. These are very dense, very compactly packed. These are very packed and very fibrous connective tissues. They generally are the components of two types of tissues, tendons and ligaments. Tendons are those connective tissues that joins our muscles to the bones, and ligaments are those connective tissues that joins bones to bones. So bones to bones are joined by ligaments and muscles to bones are joined by tendons, connective tissues. Students, this is very important question. It may come in your exam, the difference between tendons and ligaments. Next, the third type of connective tissue is adipose tissues. Adipose tissues are just made because of the aggregation, collection of the fat cells that are known as adipocytes. When many adipocyte cells come and connect with each other, they form the tissue that is known as adipose tissues. They are present just below our skin and most of the internal organs, between many of the internal organs, and also in our bone marrow. The main function of these adipose tissues is to absorb shock, insulator, that is, they maintain our body temperature, and also as a reservoir means that they deposits the fat, and it also keeps the organ in position. They keeps the organ in their original position, not allow the organ to move here and there. Now let's see the next two type of connective tissues. Students, now see the next type of connective tissues that are skeletal tissues. Skeletal tissues हमारी body के supporting tissues, they are also known as the supporting tissues of our body. Now they are of two types mainly. They are cartilages and bones. Cartilages, they are very compact and less vascular. That means they have less jelly-like substance and they are very compact. They are arranged very close to each other. Next, matrix is a network of collagen fibers, and inside these cells, the matrix that is present inside these cells is made up of collagen fibers. They are also helps in the growth, internal growth of our body, and the cells that are responsible for this internal growth are known as chondrocytes. Next, these skeletal tissues or supporting tissues are generally present in the pinna of the ear, nose tip, the nose, ribs, trachea, and many more. And they provide support and flexible. It makes our body flexible. So such type of tissues, that is cartilages, give support and flexibility to the organs. Next, the type of skeletal tissues are bones. You know very well what are our bones. Our bones are very rigid and hard, and they are very vascular and mineralized. Many type of minerals are present in the bones. The matrix, the inside portion is made up of protein, and this matrix are made of concentric rings. The bones, if we see, the matrix are made up of concentric rings. The circle inside and then outside. This is known as a concentric, and these are known as lamellae. And the cells present in these lamellae are known as osteocytes. The cells which are related to bones are known as osteocytes. They gives a shape and support and also protect our organs. The main function of skeletal tissues is to support our body, to protect the internal organs, and also helps in the movement of our body, or store the minerals. Like we know that the bones store calcium in them, so they are also used in the mineral storage and cell production. The blood cells that are present, that are grown in the bone marrow of the bones, so they are also used in the production of blood cells. Now students, see the next, fluid connective tissue. Fluid connective tissue maintains continuity in our body by flowing from one area to the another. The blood matrix is made up of blood plasma and the cells that are present in the blood are known as blood cells or blood corpuscles. These blood cells are of mainly three types: RBCs, WBCs and blood platelets. RBCs are also known as erythrocytes, and these erythrocytes are the major portion of our blood, and they are used for carrying oxygen and carbon dioxide in our body. Next, the WBCs, these white blood cells, they fight against the foreign bodies. Any foreign substance will come inside our body, they fight from them. And next is blood platelets. These platelets aids in the blood clotting. Where we get injury, the blood clots just because of these platelets. Next, in the fluid connective tissue is the lymph. Lymph is the part of blood. It is the colorless part of the blood, and that part of the blood that does not have RBCs and proteins. Instead, here WBCs are found in very much amount. So students, this is much in the connective tissues. We have learned 5 types of connective tissues, that is areolar connective tissues and adipose tissues, skeletal tissues, fluid connective tissues, dense regular connective tissues. Now let us see the last type of tissues that are known as nervous tissues. Let's learn the nervous tissues. Let us know about the nervous tissues. These are the type of tissues that are very specialized, and their main function is to transmit messages. They transmit the message to our brain from outside the body. If we touch something hot, we feel hot just because this message has gone to our brain. Next, the main organs that contains these nervous tissues are brain, spinal cord and our nerves. And the type of cells that are very specialized present in the nervous tissues are the neuron, and they transmit impulse to different parts of our body. In any part of the body, we feel just because of these nervous tissues. The main highly specialized cells, neuron, the diagram is shown here. A neuron, it is a single cell and the longest cell of our body. It contains mainly two parts. The above part is known as cyton, and the one elongated part is known as the axon. The cyton has a large nucleus and the rays that are known as dendrons. These dendrons further divides and forms dendrites, and one of the dendron elongate to form the axon. This axon is the elongated part, and it is surrounded by a sheath that is known as the myelin sheath. So this is the basic structural and functional unit of our nervous system that is present in the nervous tissues. So students, I hope you understand the whole chapter, and we have now completed our whole chapter. In the next turn, we will do the exercises and the question answers of this chapter.